Hi friends, today I'm going to be showing you how to get this look today. This is my St. Patty's look, and this is what I just recently done. And I'm going to show you how to do it on this hand here. So I'm going to prep my nails. So the first thing you need to do is push back your cuticles, get a cuticle pusher and just push back your cuticles. If you want, you can cut the nails. It's totally up to you. I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back and I'll show you what else I'm going to do after that. Okay, so I pushed back my cuticles. Now I'm going to use my drill. This is the bit I'm going to be using. I'm going to do around my cuticles and the natural nail itself. So I'm just going to go slow. And I'm just going to clean by the cuticles. This step is very important because you don't want any lifting at all. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can off of the nail, but not hurting the nail, because this bit is actually a very light bit. It doesn't hurt unless, you know, for me it doesn't hurt. So now I'm just going to do the nail, get the oils off of the nail. Okay, now I'm going to do the rest of the nails. Okay, after you're done with that, you want to make sure you clean off all the dust off your nails. You don't want any of the dust because that will cause the lifting. So just get a brush, anything, just clean off the dust. You don't want any of that dust. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab my nails that I'm going to be using. Okay, these are the nails I'm going to be using today, and they're just like a oval kind of shape. I'm going to actually first put my primer on first. So this is the first one I'm going to be using. It's Nail and it's Dehydrator. So I'm going to apply that one first. Okay, I'm going to let that one dry, and then I'm going to apply the second one. So it's going to dry quick. So now I'll be applying this one. This is the acid-free primer from Nail. So I'm going to apply that one now. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that I let the primer dry. I want to make sure my nails are nice and dry. I don't want any kind of moisture in the nails. So I'm going to let these dry for about a minute or two, and then I will glue on my artificial nails. So I'll be right back. I'm going to make sure I let this dry first. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I let the nails dry for about a minute. Now I'm going to apply the artificial nails that I've chosen for my nails. I'm going to be using this glue. I bought it on eBay. And you can basically use any nail glue. You can pick them up at Walmart, Target, Dollarama, or Dollar Tree. I'm sure that they probably have that. So you just need some nail glue. So I'm just going to apply a dot of nail glue on my small finger, just a small dot. We don't need lots. So I'm just going to put it on the side like this. There we go. That came out too much. That glue is a very watery glue. The ones that they usually sell at the store are not so watery. So I'm going to slide the nail along, and then I'm going to press down and press and hold for a couple seconds. And then when I hold it for a couple seconds, I'm going to use a lint-free cotton pad here, a lint-free, and I'm going to wipe off the extra glue off because I don't want that glue on my nails. So I'm just going to let that sit now. Now I'm going to continue with the next nails. Okay, now that I applied the nails, I'm not cutting the nails, I'm leaving them long, so I'm not going to cut them at all. So I'm going to make sure that the glue is dry totally before I'm going to apply the acrylic. So I'm going to let the glue dry for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to apply the acrylic. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the glue has dried, I'm going to apply the acrylic. I got this acrylic here from Joanne. I just recently bought it and I really enjoy her acrylic mixes. She makes really good acrylic mixes. So this is the green and it does have a shimmer in it, a very little shimmer. I'm not sure if you probably can see it on the camera itself. So I have my liquid, my and then the mix that she made. I'm also going to be applying some little green rhinestones that I got from Jen's Nail World. These are the little rhinestones that I got, or little gems or whatever they are, but that's what I'm going to be using for the other fingers, the 3 fingers. So I'm going to start doing my pinky. I have my liquid and my brush. This is the brush I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to wet the nail, the artificial nail, not my nail, just the artificial nail. So I just want to make sure you guys can see this. So I'm just going to, there we go. So I'm going to dip my brush in the liquid, grab the powder. I'm just going to need a little bit because the nail is very small. I'm just going to place it on the nail. I'm going to let it sit there for a second. I just cleaned the back of my brush because I don't want lots of liquid. I'm just doing the end here, the little edge here, and then I'm going to go up. So I'm going to do the whole nail itself, like the whole bottom of the nail or the whole top of the nail first before I do the bottom of the nail, because I want to make sure that gem. So I'm just going to add the acrylic all over the nail, slide it along, okay. Go up. Okay, now that I've had applied that to the nail, I'm going to apply the green, a little bit of green on the bottom so I can make sure that the acrylic is still wet so I can apply that rhinestone in the acrylic. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of the acrylic upside down and I'm going to place it on the nail. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to grab the rhinestone and now I'm going to place it on the bottom of the nail before that acrylic dries. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm going to push it in. I want to make sure it's even. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit and then I will add a top layer of clear. So I just want to go to the next nail now. So I'm just gonna wet the nail and now I'm gonna apply the green acrylic. Okay, now that I applied that, now I'm going to apply the clear. So I have the clear. This is the clear I'm going to be using. It's the Nails clear. And I'm going to apply that to the top of the nail just to add the top, because you want to make sure that because the color acrylic is actually a very thin acrylic. So you just want to make sure you have a top layer. Okay, so I'm back now, and I already applied the clear acrylic on my pinky and my pointing finger. Now I'm gonna apply it to my middle finger. So I'm just going to just wet the nail again because I want to make sure that the clear acrylic will adhere to the nail itself. So I'm just gonna grab some upside down, and I'm gonna place it here first, and then I'm gonna go downwards. Place it here. Okay, after that's done, I'm gonna curl the nail. So I'm gonna grab my curler. I dip it in some acrylic. I'm gonna wait until about a minute before I apply it onto the nail, and then because I want to make sure that it's partially dry. I don't want to apply it when it's still wet because the acrylic will just move right up, and then you have a lot of sanding to do. So I'm just gonna let it sit, and then I'll curl it. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna let that I'm gonna curl the nail first, and then I will show you what to do on the other fingers. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply the mix. This is the mix I'm gonna be using. It's from Joanne Pachenko. It's called Feeling Lucky. It's like a St. Patrick's mix. So I'm just going to apply. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the mix to the nail. So I'm just going to wet the nail. I just want to make sure I'm going to put a clear base of acrylic on that nail first because I don't want any of the mix to stain my nail. So I'm just putting a clear coat just on the natural nail itself. Okay, now I'm going to add the mix. It's already mixed with acrylic, so I'm just going to add the mix upside down, and then I'm going to place it on the nail, and then I'm going to slide it around. I set some 3-leaf clovers aside. I picked them out of the mix. I'm just going to apply them to the nail. Okay, I'm just going to do the thumbnail. I'm just going to wet the nail here, and I'm going to apply a clear layer on my natural nail. Okay, now I'm going to use the mix again. Okay, now I'm going to add the 3-leaf clovers. Okay, now I'm going to add a clear coat to the nail itself. So I'm just going to wet the nail. Okay, and now I'm going to apply a clear coat of acrylic. Okay, so after I do that, I'm gonna curl the nail, and then so I just want to make sure I curl the nail just like I did with the other one. So I'm just gonna do the thumb now and just apply the clear. Okay, so I'm gonna let that one dry, and I'm gonna curl it too. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna make sure you clean your brush after use, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm gonna file the nails. So I'm gonna grab my coarse file, and I'm just gonna go along the side of the nail here, this side here, and just making sure that the acrylic is not on my natural or on my skin. Making sure that is not on my skin under. Now I'm gonna go on top and make it smooth. Basically, you just want to smooth out the nail. No bumps of acrylic bumps. Go under again. And then do the top. Just want to round it off a little bit. Okay, it's not going to need very much filing because it's like I didn't add too much acrylic to the nail. So I'm just going to, next I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to sand out the nail. It's a little fast. Just going to sand out the nail, making sure that it's nice and smooth. Now I'm going to go around the cuticle. Just be careful when you do that because you don't want to hit the cuticle. I'm just going to go along the side. Okay, and that's basically done that now. That's how quick it is when you're just teach yourself how to do it all the time. So I'm just going to continue with the rest, and I'm just going to go along the sides here. Now I'm going to grab my fine file, and I'm just going to smooth out the nails because they are sharp underneath and the edges. So just want to smooth that out because you don't want any rough edges. Okay, now I'm going to use my fine block, and I'm going to just buff the nails, making sure there's no sharp edges from the drill or the file. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to apply the gems to my nails. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to apply my top coat. This is the top coat I'm going to be applying. I'm going to be putting in a UV light. So I'm going to be using this. This is the shine. And then I will apply the gems to the nails with some acrylic. I'm going to just apply the polish first, and then I'll show you what to do with the gems, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to apply the 3D art to my nail. I'm just going to use a little bit of acrylic. So I'm just going to use my brush, grab the acrylic, place it on the nail where I want to place the gem, and then I'm going to add some more. And you don't want it too wet, the acrylic, so I'm just going to add that little dot of acrylic there, and now I'm going to apply the gem to the nail. So I'm just going to wait for a second, and now I'm going to apply where I want that gem to sit. Okay, you just want to make sure it's even. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to just let that sit, press it down. Now I'm going to do my thumb. all done. Super, super duper simple. So these nails took a while. It took me a few hours. So you're going to make sure that you do leave time to do your nails if you have time. So these nails took me about 2 hours to do or so, something like that. So I just wanted to show you these St. Patrick's nails, and I love them so much. I love these nail designs, or these nail 3D things. I really love them. I'm super happy I bought them. So yeah, I really appreciate you all being here, and thank you so much for being patient and watching the whole video if you did. I really appreciate you all being here, like I said, and I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.